Yo, what's good campers, it's your boy Killer Beezy, and today we are here with a Mister Sinister review. Now before we get into the video, I just want to state that we do have Mister Sinister through the content creator program, and by the time you guys see this video, he will be removed from my account. So now let's get into this video. Now there are a few abilities, man, that I absolutely love of Mister Sinister's, man. I love his signature ability, I love his synergies, I love his passives, I love his heavy attacks, I love his special attacks. Like, everything about him just seems amazing, man. Like, and I'll leave it on the screen for you guys to read through, and as the video goes through and I'm showing you guys different fights and I'm explaining the best kind of way that I found to use him for utility as well as damage output. And you know, we can just kind of touch on certain things as the video goes on. So if you guys notice at the beginning of the video, I was in Realm of Legends. Now I actually didn't do any footage of fighting Winter Soldier, and the reason I didn't is because this guy is a ramp up champion. Yeah, this guy is an absolute monster for questing. So the best way, I was trying to figure out a way to simplify how I could describe Mister Sinister to the community, and the best way I could think of it is, imagine Venom the Duck, Quake, and Wolverine Realm of Legends in one champion, and that is Mister Sinister, in my opinion. Yeah, now when I say Venom the Duck, I mean, due to his awakened ability, if he defeats champions of specific classes, he gains certain abilities, and they store, and he can store up to 10, and they store, and they obviously bump up certain abilities to make him even better. So, and the reason why I threw in Quake as well is because of his concussion from the heavy attack, from the SP2 and from the SP3. And then the reason why I threw in the Wolverine from Realm of Legends is because the amount of regen that he gets when you're attacking him and you're hitting him with critical hits. But anyway, so as you can see, so first of all, we're up against a skill champion. So if you guys didn't see it at the beginning of the fight, so fighting a skill champion, when we take a skill champion down, we are gonna get a precision buff, which is gonna increase our critical hit rating by 500. Now that is with the 4-star Mister Sinister being maxed out. So I'm not sure how this scales from signature level 1 to being max sig, but obviously you know, we will obviously find out. So these stats are based on having a max sig Mister Sinister. So next up, we are up against a Science champion. Now with Science, it's going to increase our regen rate. So it's going to increase our regeneration rate by 20%, so, which is amazing. So obviously, as you can imagine, if I fight 5 Science champions and 5 of these regen rate buffs store within our persistent charge, then that means we're gonna have a regen rate of 100%. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. As you guys can see, I've barely built up these charges, and he's hitting at like 3-4k for on a critical hit. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, so we're up against a skill champion again, which again is gonna even further increase our critical hit rating, which is amazing. As you can see, the SP1 is just amazing. Like, Mister Sinister has the ability to transfer damaging debuff onto the opponent by using his SP1, whether it hits them directly or it hits them while they're blocking. That is amazing. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of that footage in this video for you guys, but you know, I'll try and obviously work on a bit something. I do have another video coming with some slightly more difficult fights, but showing you just how good Mister Sinister really is. So as you can see, so part of Mister Sinister's abilities as well is when he uses a heavy attack, it pauses his debuff effects on you. So it doesn't work with every debuff effect. I don't think it works with damaging debuffs. So, but you'll notice that when we stun him and when we've got the concussion on him, when we use our heavy attacks, it pauses the effect of the stun and it pauses the effect of the concussion, and it also gives us a precision buff, which increases our critical hit rating by 857.14 for 6.2 seconds, and it provides an additional critical hit rating for each debuff on the opponent, which is absolutely incredible. Incredible. So that's why a lot of the time, you can, from what you can actually see, I'll try and stun him or try and parry or use the SP2, and then I'll hold the heavy attack literally until the buffs pop up, and then it will release the attack and hit the opponent. So next up, we are up against Captain America. Now, as you can see, we are storing, so we've got four persistent charges at the moment, so we're not doing too bad. We're doing okay, man, but I'm just loving the style of play from Mister Sinister, man, because for those of you who know about concussion from hitting the SP2, it literally shuts down ability accuracy, man. So, you know, against like champions that have regen and even those that have regen, if played correctly, you can hit the SP2, hold the heavy attack, and when the regen is about to kick in for the other champion, it will just block the regen completely, which is absolutely amazing, because not only does he hit hard, not only does he stack buffs, not only does he have that regeneration about him, he doesn't have heal block, but due to the concussion ability, he can completely put a stop to any kind of regen. Now, this was an interesting fight. So Mystic, so by defeating a Mystic champion, I am going to get a power rate persistent charge, which is going to increase my power rate by 20%. So, as you can see, I'm doing the same thing against Magic. I'm trying to stun her. I'm trying to get to the SP2 and just use the technique of holding and letting go and hitting with the heavy attack, man. And it's so much fun to do, because it's just literally like, I build a big chunk of my power up, I get a nice long stun, and I get the concussion, and literally I don't have to worry about Limbo right now, because I've got the concussion debuff on her. So he is gonna be a great, I mean, it's not as straightforward as someone like Blade, but to have someone like Mister Sinister with all his abilities, and knowing that he can counter champions like Magic, he can counter different type of champions, it's amazing, because sometimes you always have to alter your team due to one or two fights that might occur. Whereas when you bring Mister Sinister, you don't have to worry about champions that you might get that will heal. You don't have to worry about champions like Magic, who's got the damage from the Limbo that you can shut down with the concussion. It's amazing, man. It's absolutely amazing. So also by fighting a Cosmic, so we're gonna get a Fury persistent charge, which is gonna increase our attack rating by 371.4. And we have that added on, and you will see from what I've been discussing about the regen, you will see that in my last fight against Maestro. As you can see here, we are fighting a Gomorrah, so we're gonna get the same debuff that we just got. Not debuff, we're gonna get the same persistent charge, which is from the Fury. One thing I will mention is, you know, I was trying to think about where this champion would be best in the game, and I think all round, I think he's an all-round amazing champion. I think he'll be amazing in questing and alliance quest. I think he will be amazing for alliance war, even attack. I think he'll be really good for alliance war attack, just because of his ability to shut down abilities by using his heavy attack and using the SP2. I think his damage will be good. You know, sometimes when you have decent champions that have decent utility, they kind of get let down by their damage output, but I think he'll be a fairly good defender. Not necessarily for any crazy path, but, you know, if you're running like your average path, like 1 to 3, or, you know, maybe path 9 or whatnot, this guy can take that path 100%. And as an Alliance War defender, he will also be an awesome defender, as long as the opponent doesn't have a counter for him. So yeah, man, I think all round, man. And the thing is, he's got really good prestige as well. He has the same prestige as Aegon. So for those of you who don't know, Aegon, I think, is top 13 with regards to prestige. So that just goes to show, when you see when you get Mister Sinister, if you max him out, he's gonna have some really high prestige too. So, you know, he all around, he's got decent abilities, and yeah, man, I've been really impressed with this champion. I mean, as you can see, so that SP2 just hit for over 15k. It's amazing, man. I mean, we got the concussion on Maestro, and it was just such an easy fight. It just felt like such an easy fight, man. One of the synergies that I haven't spoken about yet, but it's the synergy with Ultron, MODOK, or Kingpin, where every time they use a special attack, it power locks them. It's absolutely amazing, man. So I am very impressed with Mister Sinister, and I really enjoyed using him, man. I would have to say very well done to Kabam for this champion, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the clips that you saw of Mister Sinister. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, man. I really enjoyed using this champion, and I will have another video showing you a bit more difficult gameplay. Thank you guys for watching, man. Take care. It's been your boy Killer Beezy. Peace.